Um, okay. That way, if somebody had to miss or something happens, it'll be here recorded. Y'all can go back to it. So glad y'all are here. And because we have so much to go through, I'm not going to take a lot of time to do introductions, but Amy, Grace, Jennifer, so excited for you to be here. I have lots of good stuff. And I hope that today will really equip you with the next layer to lay down on your foundation of what do I need to know and what do I do? And really too, the heart, like we're going to talk about like what's beneath all the checklists and the get this done and get that done, what's beneath that. And it's a heart. So hopefully it'll be encouraging, but please, as we go, if you're like, hey, I have a question, don't hesitate to jump in. When I share my screen, I can't always see everybody's face. So I may not see you if you wave. So just unmute and hold on real quick. And I'll pause along the way, but just so you know, you can interrupt, you can ask questions. I really want to make sure you have what you need. So without further ado, let me get into Canva here and I will present. If I can slide that around, let's see here. Let me move this. You go over there. There we go. Much better. All right. So this is the packet you guys have, but I like to hold it up in front of us so that way you can also see. And then if you have it printed, feel free to make notes and write on it. If you don't, hey, here it is right in front of you. So for boot camp, there's really 4 parts. The first part is getting organized, how to kind of have the money and all of that in place. The second part is establishing clientele. How exactly do we do that? Third part is the long term of building a business for life, that through the ups and downs and the busyness and the seasons and come and go of this and that will just ride with you and be abundant. And then lastly, benefits and rewards. What is available to you here in Mary Kay? And there's a lot of beautiful things. So let's go and jump in. So what you need to run your home business. In 2022, it's not too much. So that's nice. That's exciting. For running your business, a computer is definitely handy. So having access to a computer and a printer. Obviously, if you don't have one today, you can, print things different places. Mary Kay has a good relationship with FedEx Office. We get like 60% off if you print to FedEx Office, but that can be a little of a pain if you always have to upload it and drive over and get it. So having a printer can really come in handy. Also, you want to have a small handful of like file folders. So I'm going to tell you the ideal, and you can feel free to tweak it, to work for you. I don't want you to have to go to an office store and spend a bunch of dollars, but if you have some hanging file folders, 5 to 7 hanging file folders, and then like somewhere to put those. Like I started off with some file folders in a plastic little crate. Now I have a filing cabinet, but just a place where you can store some papers throughout the year in an easy way. So hanging file folders in a little cabinet or a little box with a stapler and a 3-hole punch. And then we talked about this in your welcome sessions, but a binder, if you don't have one yet, is really nice because it allows you flexibility. You can add and take away pages as you need them versus having a pile of notebooks that you need some stuff and then some stuff you don't need anymore. And it just makes it less papery. I'm not a paper person. I like to minimize clutter. So that's my way of doing that. So for running your business, those are the main things that will allow you to get organized and just to have the basic tools in hand. Next page. This is where we talk about tax deductions. Y'all have amazing tax deductions because of running a business from home. So you get to write off a lot of stuff that you already would have. You get to write off a lot of expenses that you would have anyway for living life. But now, because of working from home, you get to add them in. Now, I know, Amy, your husband's a business owner, right? So you've probably already been taking some of these tax deductions. So we'll see if maybe we can add you a few more in. But this page here, this Accounting Unlimited Incorporated, is a company out of Indiana that does taxes for a lot of Mary Kay people. I do not personally work with them. I prefer to work with people in my state so that I know they're most aware of, our stuff. But I love their worksheets. And so this worksheet is to give you a list of all your tax deductions available. So anything on this sheet is legal for you to write off on your taxes. And typically when you're a Mary Kay business owner, until you get to the point where you're earning a free car, you're going to get money back because of your business. You're not going to owe money because of your business on taxes. So that's really where the income level shifts from getting money back to owing money, would be when you earn a free car with Mary Kay. That's when your income is at that point where, okay, you probably need to set aside. So when you have sales right now, don't worry, you're not going to get taxed and have to spend a bunch of money because you sold, $1,000 of Mary Kay. That won't happen because of this sheet with all your tax deductions. And so I'm going to talk you through the basics of them. I'm certainly not an accountant. I don't want to claim to be, but I've learned some things over the years, and I can kind of help guide you along the starting point. And then please to work with a professional if you have like more questions, if you need some assistance, like absolutely find, a good person local. But on this sheet every year, what I do is I simply print one of these off and I add up any expenses I had in any of these categories. And those are what I turn into my accountant as tax deductions. And so that would mean you would want to keep receipts for any expenses on this sheet. What I do is I take a picture and then I upload my receipt, the picture of my receipt, into Dropbox, and I throw the paper away. So I have a record, because the paper and ink actually fades really quickly. So it's actually best if you can just snap a picture of it and save it somewhere and just put the category on the receipt. So if it's a picture of a gas receipt, snap a picture, it's gas in 2022. And that's how I keep my receipts, my records, but I throw the papers away. I don't actually keep all of the receipt papers. So when you are looking this over, most stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Your total sales, I'm going to show you where you get that number. That's not something you have to add up by hand at the end of the year. Praise Jesus. So I'll show you where that number comes from. Commissions and prizes is if you earn more than $400 in commissions and prizes, Mary Kay will send you a note that tells you how much it was. So that is that's helpful in the new year. And then a lot of these are, if you travel for an event, if you buy meals or food for a Mary Kay activity, we do the different conferences and things like that. So you're getting all these things that you get to write off. The two biggest ones are your house and your car. So if you look about halfway down the page where it says vehicle expenses, when we did your welcome session, I told you, hey, grab your odometer reading and write it down, because from that point, anytime you drive and you're doing something for your Mary Kay business, you get to write off those miles. As long as you're not clocking into a job where you're getting paid, the miles are a deduction. So say you're going to church and a friend wants a catalog. If you drive to church and you give her that catalog, that is a tax deduction to and from church, because you did work your business and you weren't on the clock for anyone. Now, if you have a coworker who wants something and you drive to work, well, you're driving to your job and you're getting paid. So you can't count the trip to work. But if you deliver that to her or you give her products or whatever, you can count the trip home, because you're taking off your work hat. Now you're doing Mary Kay stuff and then head home. So, so you can get a whole lot of miles, and the deductions for mileage just keep getting higher. Is wonderful. You're up to like 60 some cents a mile. So it's worth it to keep that. I use a notebook in my car. That's just what I have found to be the best thing that I don't forget about. I just write it, what the date is. I write how many miles I drove and what my purpose was. And at the end of the year, you'll have your total miles from your car completely for that year. And then you'll have the amount of them that were Mary Kay miles. Other repairs, gas. the accountants are able to figure out which deduction is better. Is it just plain old mileage reimbursement, or do you claim your expenses on your car? They'll usually be able to tell. So that's why we have you keep both. That way you can just have your numbers and get the best deduction possible. When it comes to your house, it's mostly keeping your bills. So just, if you're paying a mortgage or renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, utilities, all of that, just keep those bills. Probably you do anyway, a little file folder or something. And then the way that works is you get to write off a portion of all of your home expenses because you're running your business at home. And so the big thing with legal tax deductions for your home is that you have a set Mary Kay space. It doesn't mean you can only work there. You can work wherever you want in your house. But if you have a room in your house that is not a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, where it's not already designated space, you want to go ahead and make that your Mary Kay office, kind of put your papers there, or your computer, like claim that as your Mary Kay place. Even if someone else uses the office too, that's okay. It just can't be a bedroom, can't be a bathroom, have another full service purpose. If you don't have a full room, that's okay. Wherever your kind of desk area is and that surrounding area, you do still get to write off that space. So when I started, I had to buy a desk. I didn't have one. And it was in a guest room in an apartment that was like 900 square feet. And I just had that little desk area and right around it. And that was it. Now I have a whole office, and that's okay. Like however it grows, just for your tax purposes, you just need to have a designated Mary Kay spot that you can claim is, hey, this is where my Mary Kay stuff is living. Also, if you store things in a closet, you can claim that area as well. So if you have some products and have some equipment and things that you start to accumulate, that area where it's stored is also tax deductible. So that's your home and your car. Those are the largest deductions you get typically. And these are just the things you want to keep. So one other thing that is important to note on this sheet is your packing slips. When you place an order to Mary Kay, they send you these white papers in the box. If you got a starter kit, like a big one, then you also got a packing slip. I actually have one right here. And it looks like this. These are the piece of paper that you do need to keep. You want to keep your packing slips because at the top, it's going to tell you how much was the wholesale. It's going to tell you how much was the tax you paid and how much was the freight expense. It also tells you how much did you spend in samples. It's called Section 2. Section 2 is samples. It's sales aids, catalogs, things that you're not going to make money on, but that can assist you in your business. Those 4 things are right here on the packing slip. So when you look at this sheet here, this Accounting Unlimited sheet, the third line down, it says Section 1 purchases, your cost from packing slips. That number of your Section 1 purchases is simply going to be added up from your packing slips. So if you keep these in January, you pull this folder out, you just add up the total amount of Section 1 purchases that you had from your packing slips. About halfway down, you'll see where it says sales tax paid. Sales tax paid, that comes off of this packing slip. And then another 3 or 4 lines down, freight expense from packing slips and Section 2 from packing slips. Those are all for the numbers that come right off of these pages. So the first time you do your taxes, it feels real clunky, like where's all this information and how does this work? So don't worry. It's always a little bit of a learning curve, but if you're keeping your receipts, you're keeping your packing slips, it will make life much easier so you can get the maximum amount of money back on your taxes. Any questions on that? Anything that wasn't clear? Okay.
The Dropbox.
Oh,
Is that an app?
It is. So
I had never heard of it.
Yeah, I have an app called Dropbox. There's probably 100 ways to do that, so it's not the only way, but when I download the Dropbox app, it allows me to scan a document. So last night when I did my budget, I scanned like 4 or 5 receipts that I had, and then I just save them in a folder. When you scan it in, you tell it where to save. and it saves in a folder for the year. Right.
Oh, cool.
And you can get to it from their computer as well. So do a little checking on it, Amy. It's handy. So, okay, now money management, the next page. This is something I'm very passionate about because none of you guys came here to make no money, right? You came to make a little or a lot, save money on your own stuff. Like, are any of you cutthroat crazy sales ladies? No, that's not what we're doing. But I want you to be as efficient as you can to maximize profit because that's where your family benefits. And it's more than just a passion project. It's actually a stream of income. And so that's really important to me. And so I want to give you guys a good foundation for how to manage the money. And then we'll probably have conversations, each of us individually, on how to, okay, I'm struggling with this, or okay, I'm not sure if I'm being the best manager. Like, that's something that you kind of figure out as you go of how does it work for you. And I want to have that conversation. I was a horrible money manager when I started. And after a few years, I finally got some stuff under my belt and I do a much, much better job now. And Mary Kay is my only income. So it has to pay daycare and private school and all the things, so it's something that I do a really good job on. And I would love to, as you're ready, as you need it, continue to help hone that with you. But for the starting point, y'all know we make a 50% profit margin on our products, right? 50% we pay Mary Kay, 50% we keep. However, with any business, there's going to be some incidentals. You're going to have some expenses, maybe stamps, catalogs, samples. You pay shipping when you order. There are some things that you have to pay for. It's not a ton, but it's there. And so what we try to tell you to do in order to really keep your money clean is to actually split your sales 60-40. If you take every sale and 60% you set aside to order from Mary Kay and 40% you take as profit, you're going to have a 10% buffer to cover most of those incidentals, to cover that extra stuff that you want to buy or you need. So when you have money that comes in from Venmo, PayPal, credit cards, cash, checks, you got all these different places where you can take money now. You're going to set up a bank account, a free checking account. You don't have to have a business account. We're not anything fancy. We're sole proprietors. So you're going to open a free checking account, and all the money people pay you is going to go into that free checking account. It has to be separate for your Mary Kay business. Otherwise, you lose all your tax deductions. And if you are making profit, you can get in big trouble because you're money laundering. So you do need a separate account that your money for Mary Kay goes into. So you're going to put all the money that people pay you into that account. ProPay as well. So if you charge ProPay and you have that money sitting there in ProPay, it's just a holding tank. You actually are going to transfer that into your bank account. Once you have the money in your bank account, you're going to do either on paper or you can use a program. Some people like to do it in Excel. I have a program called YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. YNAB, You Need a Budget. Dave Ramsey has one that's called Every Dollar, and it's free. And it's a way that when you have your money in your account, you can assign your money a category. So when you deposit $200, you can say, okay, $120 is for my Mary Kay order, $80 is profit. So it just makes it really nice to know, what is this money sitting here for? Now, if you don't want to do that, you can just do Excel. You can say, 10-9, $200 deposit, 120 inventory, 80 profit. It can be as simple or as fancy as you want it to be, and you'll probably progress with it. But 60% of those dollars that you sell is going to be to order things for Mary Kay, period. That's all you have to know. 60% is going to allow me to place my orders to Mary Kay and help cover those expenses. The 40%, you may set aside a little bit of money if you're going to attend a conference or you're going to buy, headbands to do something in person. If you want to purchase some things for your business, do it from your Mary Kay account. That's the point. That money is there. But then whatever's left of that 40%, you're going to use the 40% and transfer it to your bank account, or transfer it to your savings, or hand cash to the hubby if it makes him happy that way. Whatever you need to do to say, hey, here's cash, this is for us. Take the family out to dinner, but you do have to remove the money from your Mary Kay account. Otherwise, it's mingling and it's not good. Now, obviously, the first year and the first couple weeks and months as you get things going, there's going to be a little messiness, and they know that. First year forgiveness is a real thing. They want to let business owners get things established, but as quickly as you can, get that bank account open, put all your sales money into it, and then transfer the 40%, give or take a little bit, into your family budget or remove it as cash. If you are wanting to stock up some inventory, you can take some of that 40% and put it over in your order and maybe do 80-20 if you need to get some products on hand or just to get your own stuff. It doesn't mean that it's wrong if you don't take 40% profit. I just want you guys to know that 40% is yours. If you had an emergency and you needed the cash, you could take that 40% and it is your money. It's for your family. If you choose to put some back into your business, that's fine. That's normal. First year, you kind of got to get some stuff, but it's really important to see that and go, okay, this 40% right here, I earned that. That's mine. That's my money. And if you can, move it to your family or move a portion of it to your family. I just recommend make sure that they're feeling the win a little bit. Or if it's just you, feel the win a little bit. Feel that new pair of shoes, or giving a little extra to a ministry that you're passionate about. Whatever it is that brings you joy, you just want to make sure that there is some victory in there for you. And that's how you manage the money. All the money goes into Mary Kay. You're going to split it 60-40. 60% is how you order from Mary Kay. 40% is how you pay yourself. Any questions on that? Okay, y'all are rocking. So to-dos from this first session: set up your bank account and pick a time that you can look at your money weekly. I highly recommend to look at it weekly. As you move forward, you're gonna have people ordering from you. You can have it every day eventually. Every week, you're gonna have money that's kind of coming in. And so if each week you can have a good set time that you take a look and go, how much money came in, split it, order what you need to order, or set it aside to order. If you're starting to get a good stock, you may not have to order right away. But it allows you to be smart and be prepared and not be sorting through a bunch of numbers and getting confused and forgetting what you did. That's painful. So whatever time works that you feel like you can consistently do it. And hopefully it's a fun time because you're going, how much did I make? Yay. So start saving your receipts. Save them, take a picture, put it in some sort of a file, and then throw it away. So you don't have to have a bunch of paper forever. And then let's see, put a notebook in your car for mileage. That way you have a way to keep track of your miles that you're driving, and get your office ready. Just your basic stuff, have a place picked out that you can kind of keep your things, and a place that's your home base and gives you tax credit. And that's session 1. Y'all good? Okay. So how to enter your sales. This is something that can be tricky. Now, Jennifer, you already had your bash, so your launch. So you've already kind of delved into this. Amy and Grace's are coming up. And so it's all going to be new for y'all. And it can be a little confusing. Like, okay, what do I click on? Where do I put this? How does this all work? So I want to tell you that you can do your sales when people purchase from you in the app, the My Customers app, which is a beautiful tool. If you don't have the My Customers app yet, download immediately, especially before your launch. Both of y'all are about to have yours, so here's your sign. If you didn't already know, download My Customers. You're going to need it. It also, you can enter sales on Mary Kay and Touch on the computer. That overlaps seamlessly. If you put an order in on the app, it shows up on Mary Kay and Touch. If you put an order on Mary Kay and Touch, it shows up on the app. So it does link, which is wonderful. I will tell you, the app is much easier for calculating their total price. applying a discount if they're doing a special, adding tax. It's way more friendly on the app for that. So I do like to use the app more, but you can totally do In Touch. It's not a problem. I have a YouTube video. And so the QR code on this page, as well as the YouTube video link, will take you to a 15-minute video that takes you through how do you enter a sale? What do you click on in the app? So I don't want to waste time going through all of that right now. I want to let you go through that at your own pace, but that link is there for you so that you can find it and you can go through that and feel like you figure it out. So that's entering your sales in. Why do you need to enter your sales in? Well, number one, so you know what you owe people and you know how much money they owe you. So that's obvious. That's not hard. But additionally, when you put it into the app or when you put the sale into Mary Kay In Touch, now you are having a running tally all year long of what you sold. So when it comes to tax time, you have a number of exactly to the penny how much money you sold all year. And you don't have to go through sales slips and add stuff up and do hours of tallying. But here's the key that you do have to do in order for your record to be accurate. You're going to go to something called the weekly accomplishment sheet. The weekly accomplishment sheet is where you record your sales total so you have a correct number for the year. So I'm going to show you this, but let me just walk you through these steps. Number one, you go to the business tools menu in Mary Kay In Touch. You go down to weekly accomplishment sheet. You're going to click enter weekly accomplishments. And then it's going to pull up the sales that you've entered in your computer. If you did it on the app, if someone else placed an online order, or if you put it in on Mary Kay In Touch, they're all going to be there. You're going to really quickly verify the amounts, and then you can print it for your records. I mentioned y'all would want to have a couple hanging file folders. One of them is for those packing slips that we talked about. The other one is for your weekly accomplishment sheets. It's just your proof of what you sold throughout the year. And there's also a place where you can submit those to me online so I can see what you were up to and how you're doing and kind of engage of, hey, okay, cool. She had this many sales. And just be more in the loop with you. And so I love it when you submit them to me. So, okay, let me stop sharing and let me go to a different screen so that I can show, oops, hold on, get smaller. Okay, go over here. All right. I'm going to show you how you get this and what it looks like. So the weekly accomplishment sheet, if you go to Mary Kay In Touch and you go to, sorry, everything's always in my way, business tools, go down, way down to weekly accomplishments. And then you slide over and you're going to enter weekly accomplishments. And then this is what you see. It will show you the week of, so this is 10/5 to 10/11. And these are the sales that came in, whether they were online or they were that I entered. So Casey ordered, and it shows here the total, but it doesn't include the tax. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in my phone. I'm going to open the My Customers app where her order is. And when I open it up, I find Casey. And I can see under payment how much she paid me in the app, which the video shows you this. And in the app, it says $47.63. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go $47.63, add. Now that is not editable up top, and it moved it down to the bottom. Y'all see where it's down here? And it's down here. It says Casey Stanfield, $47.63. So it shows me my week's total, shows me my year-to-date total, which is actually not right because I'm a little behind on these. But this is how you can verify that sale. And then I'll go up to Danielle, go in my app. Where's Danielle's order? Okay, she paid me $38.97 with tax. So $38.97, add. Boom, now she's down there. So once I get this week done and I've verified my sales, I'm going to go to the submit, and I'm going to get a printer friendly so I can print that off and put it in my file. And then you can even, if you see here, submit to your director, it should say send to Jessica Mitchell, and you can submit it, and then it goes to me as well. And I just get to share in that joy of seeing you grow and move forward. So that takes a little time, the first few times, to like navigate it, but it's really not hard. And it's beautiful because as long as you keep up with that or catch up, like I need to catch up from the last month, those start with July. Once I get that caught up, when January comes, boom, I just have a printed copy. I know how much I sold for the year, done. It's beautiful. Any questions on that? Okay, let me tell my daughter to go get the little one. She is not sleeping. Hold on. Hey, Adeline, will you go get Ellie and give her the iPad? Thank you. Okay. So let me get back to our other program here. Canva. And I will continue to share. Where'd you go? There it is. All right. So now, part 2, establishing clientele. You really can reach out to people without being annoying or weird. For most of us, some of you guys have more, right? Some of you have more or less experience with this. But for me, when I joined, I had never done a business. I had never booked, sold, nothing. This was far off my radar. And so learning how to like engage with people and how to like make connections with clients and friends was all new. And for many women, it can be. And so many times now, we've gotten the bad messages. We've gotten the weird messages. We've gotten the hounding people. And so we're like, I don't want to be that. Please don't make me do that. And I am here to tell you, you don't have to do that. So no having to be weird, no hounding people. However, it is important to reach out to people in your life personally. A personal contact is going to do 10 times more than a post or a mass message is ever going to do. So let's talk about, how do I reach out to people in my life? How do I engage with the people around me without being weird or annoying? So here's a few important rules of thumb. Number 1, do not word vomit on people. When you reach out, in our desire to be open and clear, we can be tempted to be like, so I'm doing this new thing and it's really fun and you can do these things and you can be a part of this and it's really awesome and it doesn't cost any money and and tell them all the things because we want to be open. But unfortunately, it's so much information. People are like, what? And it feels overwhelming, especially if you ever open a message and you see somebody sent you something this long and you're like, oh, I'm tired. So here's a don't word vomit. I'm going to give you a better way. Second thing, don't just copy and paste what someone else says. That isn't going to sound like you. So I'm going to give you some guidance and some words to use, but it's not to make you sound like me. It's to give you a good framework, and then you can tweak it. If you don't say, hey girl, don't say, hey girl. If you don't say, love ya, don't say that. Use your own phrases and way, your own emojis. But I want to give you a structure of, okay, here's some good framework to work within. And then thirdly, oh my gosh, hold on. My brain's forgetting. Let me just open up my notes. Don't. This is super important. Don't say, let me know when you end your message. Let me know are words of death in Mary Kay. Because you have now put all the power in their hands. You have now completely laid yourself out at their discretion. And y'all, it's not that big of a deal to them. They aren't thinking about you tomorrow or the next day. Like, they have all these things going on. And if you reach out and you invite them to be a part of something, or you invite them to come to something, they may or may not be interested, but it's like this blip in their radar and they move on. And so when you say, hey, let me know if you want to do, okay, well, now you have to sit here and wait, even if they forgot, even if they barely read it, even if they read the first half and then now you feel weird because you said, well, let me know. But if I follow up, I mean, won't they let me know? Like this is getting awkward. And so there's a better option than saying, let me know. So let's go to the do's. The first thing you want to do is be direct. Be direct. And I don't mean curt. I just mean when you reach out to someone about your business, just go straight to the point of why you're messaging them first. So you're saying, hey girl, I had a quick question, and go right into it. And then after you deal with the direct reason that you reached out, at the end, you can say, I hope you're doing well. How's the family? Or I saw you started a new job. How's it going? End with the pleasantries and the friendship, but start with the direct request. Otherwise, it feels a little buttery, like you're buttering them up or being kind of shady. Like it's just one of those things they've studied to see, how do you best reach out to people? If you want to come off as genuine, which I know you do because y'all are, start with your direct request and then do the pleasantries. Second thing, sound like you. Just sound like you, make sure that you're still staying true to who you are. And then thirdly, when you reach out, ask simple questions and end with a simple question. So rather than ending saying, let me know, you're going to end with a very simple question. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the next page. Where is that? Hold on. Okay. So actually I'm going out of order here. So I want to go one more page over and show you what that looks like. On the step 1 for accessing our virtual sessions, here's the wording that I give as a recommendation. Again, you can always tweak it to stay true to yourself, but here's what I always tell people. Hey, Autumn, as I get my Mary Kay business started, my business coach has given me a challenge to serve 30 women with a free virtual spa or makeup session during the next month. If you participate, you get a package in the mail that you get to do with us from home. We'll go live in a Facebook group. You are not on camera. It will be about an hour long and super fun. Would you be one of my ladies and help me reach my 30? So you'll notice it's not pages of information. You're not going into all the details about your story. You're not even telling her where the group is or what time the session's at or what sample she gets. None of that. For the first message, all you want to tell her is enough that she understands what you're asking her to be a part of. And if she wants to self-select out, she can say no. And if she's like, oh, sure, she can just say sure. She doesn't have to check her calendar yet. She doesn't have to see what the products are. You haven't given her that yet. All you're looking for is she open? So you'll notice we end with a simple question. Would you be one of my ladies and help me reach 30? If you don't hear back after a couple of days, you can check back because you didn't say anything about that. Like you just asked a question. And so if she doesn't respond, it's easy then to say, hey, did you get my invite? In a couple of days. Also, you're telling her the 2 main concerns people have, which is time and money. You're saying it's free. And you're saying it's an hour on the computer that she doesn't have to go anywhere. So those 2 concerns of her time and her money, you're addressing, as well as you're putting a little bit of urgency to it for why should she say yes? Most of us are not at home praying that someone would offer us a free spa session. I mean, we like it, but we got stuff going on. We got kids and life and work. And so nobody's like, oh, I just wish someone would invite me to do a virtual spa. It's not on anyone's radar. Now, is it awesome and fun when they do it? Yes. But if you try to just find the people who are at home praying for a spa or makeup session, you're not going to find any. So instead, you want to create an idea that it'll be fun, because it will be, but there's also a reason for her to say yes, is that you're working to accomplish something. And as new business owners, that's my challenge to you, is try to serve 30 women, get 30 women to come through some of our sessions. That's going to give you a ton of momentum and a ton of growth. And so that's the magic, is you're giving them enough information that you don't seem sketchy, but not so much that you overwhelm her. And you're ending with that simple question of, hey, would you help me as you get pampered and blessed? So I want to back up to the page before and set up where this script is coming from. My recommendation for new girls is to start with our Inspire virtual sessions that we do every week, because they're not scary. Like, you get to watch and learn and get people trying products without having to like do anything too crazy. It's a great way to learn how to teach a session. You like literally get to see it done and hear it over and over again. It costs you no money at all. And you're getting to put people on the product. The closer people are to the product, the closer they are to maybe making a purchase, or at least to becoming really excited and connected to you. So you want people to put products on. That's the biggest impact on them and for your future. It also allows you to serve an unlimited number of people in a small amount of time. You can do 10, 15, 5, 2 people, and you're not having to invest more hours. And then when you're ready, you can do your own sessions. You are absolutely welcome to do stuff in person or virtually. I will be here to help and to resource you if you're like, hey, somebody wants to have a party, what do I do? Or, hey, I kind of feel like I'm ready to do some of these private session things. What do I do? I will absolutely walk with you there and give you all the resources. But for starting, this is so simple. And over time, it's incredibly powerful. So my tips for this are, try to start people with the Sunday spa sesh if you can. It's the ideal introduction to Mary Kay because it's the basic skincare and the charcoal mask. We're not getting into all the wild extra things. It's like really like focused. Now, it's not a rule. Like, if they can't do a Sunday, that's okay. They can do a Thursday. We just love to start with the Sundays. And I personally like to start people with a Sunday because it's a good, strong start. Once they do that, then I'll, open up to the Thursdays if I can. And then best of all, tip number 2, don't hold back. Invite everyone. It's fun. It's free. It's a gift. They have fun. What is there to lose? So don't be shy. You really can invite and welcome all kinds of people to do these. And so that's where we just talked through that scripting of, how do I actually invite someone to do this? What do I say? Here's a good starting point for you of what to say. So we talked through that. If she says yes, here's what to tell her next. What's the next bite-sized piece that you give her? Awesome. Our next session is on Sunday, the blank, or Sunday, the blank at 7:30. That's my time. So if you're on a different time zone, obviously put it in your time zone, but at 7:30 p.m., would either of those work for you? So you're giving her 2 choices. You're not saying we only do Sunday, or, you have to do, you're just guiding kind of what you would like to happen. And if she's like, oh, I'm sorry, but Sunday nights don't work. We have Bible study. I can't do that. No problem. We also have Thursdays, so you're just going to keep providing options for her. But I'm always going to start with Sunday if they haven't experienced Mary Kay yet. And give her like 2 date choices. So that way she can pick. I don't recommend sending her all the pictures of all the sessions and pick one, because again, too much information. When she hasn't done any Mary Kay event yet, she doesn't need options. She don't know what she's picking from. She just needs, 2 things to pick from. Do you want to do this date or this date? Great. If she doesn't respond right away, give her 48 hours or so and then check back. People do forget. I forget things all the time, messages that come in. And so it's your opportunity to be respectful, give her enough time that it's reasonable, and then you can just check back in. Follow up at least 2 times. And I don't write a lot. I just say, hey, did you get my invite the other day? It's almost never personal. It's almost always that they just got busy or distracted. Whether they get into it or not, they usually will eventually respond. So that's your process of inviting people. Once they pick their date and they are ready to sign up, you're going to register them at this form. It allows you to put her information in. My assistant puts these packages together and mails them. She lives an hour from me, so she completely handles it all. And she'll send things out. She'll send you reminders. Hey, you have so-and-so registered. Just a reminder to let them know this. Hey, you have so-and-so registered. We do a lot of that to just help because we're all busy and I forget who I signed up. I got my text today. I was like, oh, I need to check in with that girl. And so after that, you want to go ahead and add them to the right Facebook group. Our Sunday Spa Sesh has the same group name all the time. And then the Thursday theme night always has the same group name. So those are our two that we always use. And we always do a video that we explain what they need to know for the session. So you can tag them in that video the day before. It's just another layer of them kind of seeing what they're in for, getting excited. If you try to tag them and they're not in the group, that's your warning sound of, ooh, I got to make sure she gets in this group. There's nothing worse than people trying to get in the group after we've started. Because once I'm teaching, I don't check my phone. I'm not stopping and approving, I'm in. And so it gives you a chance to make sure that they're for sure in the group. And then step 5, a 30-minute reminder is key. I don't know about y'all, but I can lose my mind at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. I'm like done, like the day is passed and I'm not always with it. And so I'll forget something. So we want to just have that 30-minute, hey, I'm excited to see you. We're going to have fun. And like I told you guys, my assistant schedules reminder texts for you to remember to remind your guest. So we try to foolproof it as much as we can. So, with the virtual sessions, hop on if you can. I mean, it's going to be good for you to learn. You'll get to see and engage with your guests. It adds that energy for them to see and hear you, but it's not required. If something's going on, don't hold back because you can't do every session. That would be the worst case scenario. Is you're like, well, I won't invite them because I can't be on. Oh no, invite away, get people in. And if you're able to, pop in at least for part of it or all of it and just be there, working alongside everybody. So those are virtual sessions, and they are a gift for each of you to have a place to start growing and start serving, but it doesn't require a whole lot from you on the front end. You get to kind of grow into as much as you want to do on your own. So then before we talk about how to close out the sessions afterward, do you guys have any questions? Awesome. Oh, were you saying something?
No.
Nope. Okay, perfect.
Well, hang on. I have one real quick.
Okay.
So basically it's okay if we're still kind of uncomfortable to just go ahead and get them in on those and we
Yes.
jump in on them too. Okay. That's what I was trying to make sure of, because that's what hooked me.
Yep.
With y'all was being able to do that. And I was like, this is fun.
Yes, girl. Please do. Please do. We want as many people on these sessions as we can. And I'm with you, Amy. Like, I've been teaching parties for 13 years. Like, I know how to do a party. I know how to do a facial. I'm totally comfortable, but the virtual has been a game changer. It's easy. It doesn't require a lot of those women. They can jump in and have fun and try products, and it's very low pressure and it's awesome. So I highly recommend it for your sake. So now, after the fact, here's where the results come in. So if people get on, sometimes they will handle it themselves, especially after they've done 4 or 5, they kind of know what's happening. But for your first few times, you need to follow up with people when they're just on their first, second, third session, because this is where the results happen. If you don't reach out and follow up, you're just leaving it off to hope, So step 1, after a session, you do want to text each person individually. If you can, do it like 5 minutes after the session, like right afterward, you're saying, hey, thank you so much for being a part of the session. Did you have fun? Just get some feedback from them, a quick engagement of appreciating them. And then the second text is where you get results and you find out, what do they want to participate in? What is their taste? Some of the stuff they won't want to do, some they will, and that's okay. But if you don't ask, you don't know. And then you're confused. And so I always have a second text where I'll ask them questions. Number 1, are there any products or sets they can't live without? They do want to purchase, that's where they can let you know. Do they want to get in on any other sessions? So you can get them signed up. Do they want to refer anyone with that fabulous sheet and get a free mascara? And then do they want to help with a PP chat to do some of that training with you so you can grow? And then they get those extra entries in the drawing. So those are the 4 questions. Where I land is I just ask one simple, did you have fun, and kind of chit chat with her. And then I just give her all the questions so she can answer what fits versus tons and tons of messages. You can find what works for you and your people. Feel free to tweak it and adjust it. If she didn't get on, be sure and encourage her. Go watch the replay. You've got 48 hours. You can still take advantage of the specials and all of that good stuff. So that's the after. And then as they answer the questions, here's what you do. Number 1, help her purchase what she wants. If she wants to buy something, she can do it on the app. She can register on your site, or you can just process it on your side. She can say, I want this, this, and this, and you take care of it. However they want to shop, just make sure they register on your website. If they're ordering themselves, they can't check out as a guest and get the discount. It just goes. It'll charge their card and send it off. So you always want to make sure people register, and that way you can apply if they do get a discount or a special deal. Secondly, you can sign her up for her sessions, whatever ones she wants. Use the form and you can sign her up. You'll have her send you the picture of the fabulous sheet with any names and numbers that she wants to refer. And then if she wants to do one of your PP chats, your Pearl chats that you guys are working on, that's my link there, where you can click on the link and it'll show you my calendar for the next few weeks. So you'll see what my availability is. And that way you're not having to constantly track me down. Jess, can you do this day? Can you do that day? It's painful enough to do it with one person, so I won't make you do it with me. So if you don't see something that works because they have a strange schedule, please let me know. There are other availabilities. This is just my usual things where I'm like, I can almost always do this time on this day. And then you'll send her link so she can get entered in the $100 drawing. And that's the link there. It never changes. So a lot of this stuff you could save as a note in your phone, so you can highlight it and copy paste it real easily. I'm the queen of trying to hack that kind of stuff. I don't want to have to go chasing things and looking stuff up. I just want it on my phone so I can go boom, done. Too much going on to waste time. So those are just what to do as they answer your 4 questions. And then your job is to add her into your customer communication systems, because some women are all in right away. Some women, they take a little time. Some women buy right away. Some women aren't ready yet, or finances aren't ready yet. And so you want to go ahead and add her to your customer list on Mary Kay in Touch. That way she'll just be in your list for checking back in. We have really cool e-cards that Mary Kay will send out. And all you have to do is put someone into Mary Kay in Touch and click that you want them to get the e-card, and they'll get one each week. So it's another way of just staying in touch. The most common thing customers will say to me, or people will say about Mary Kay people, is, I lost my consultant. My consultant never contacted me. I never heard from her. The times that I hear somebody was heavy-handed or overbearing is like 1 out of 10. 9 times out of 10, people are like, yeah, I just never heard from her. She never talked to me, or I lost contact with her. I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. We should never have someone say that, because we have all of these ways to take care and serve and stay connected to women. So add her to your customer list. And then once you have your launch party, that Facebook group becomes your client Facebook group, where you can share posts about your life, about special products, all that kind of stuff. And so you want to use that group as a way to nurture the relationship. It frees you up from feeling like, oh my gosh, she didn't buy anything from this session, it's over. No, it's only just begun. That's my phrase. It's only just begun. You have many, many opportunities to build trust, to help her figure out what solution she wants you to help her with when you use your Facebook group and you use your customer list on Mary Kay. It just keeps you from forgetting about people. So that's where to start, is reach out to people, invite them to our Inspire sessions, get them into those, follow up afterward, help them take advantage of whatever they want to be a part of. And now you have someone to serve. You have someone to contact and somebody to pay attention to, which is exciting. So that's building and establishing your clientele. So the to-dos from that is that contact list that I gave you in your welcome pack. Keep adding names to it. Keep thinking of people across the United States who you can reach out to, who you can invite, who you can contact. Start reaching out. Give it a try. You will never know until you start, and you don't have to get it all right. I'm here to tell you, after 13 years, there's people who have come and gone. There's people who came, went, and came back. There's people who I did it terribly wrong, and then they saw me figure myself out and came back later, like it is not life or death, and nothing is final. If I've learned anything, nothing's final here. Do your best. Learn as you go. Find your path. It's going to be okay. And then let me know how it goes so I can help. Y'all, my first 3 parties, I sold nothing because I was just kind of going out there and doing it. And I thought I was broken. And I called my director and I was like, well, do you have any tips? I mean, I'm not selling anything. I think it's just me. And she's like, oh, we talked, told me all the things. That stopped happening. I started selling because she helped me figure out where my little holes were. So that's my job, you guys. Don't ever think you're bothering me or annoying. Or like, my calling is to give away all that God has given me in my Mary Kay business. And there is nothing I love more than getting to do that with you. So please don't hesitate. Do not be shy. If I am busy or unavailable, my phone is off. I'm not going to be, you're not going to interrupt something. And if you don't hear back, in 5 minutes, just know within 24 hours, I will get back with you. I will have an answer, or we'll talk and I will be there for you. So I always want you to know that y'all are my calling, my greatest work. So those are the first 2 sessions. Hey, we're right on time. You want to keep cranking, or do you need a potty break? All right, let's keep going. So building customers for life. I get super excited right here because this is truly what I believe will give you a business that goes way beyond a month, way beyond 90 days, way beyond a year, to where you can have this business 10 years from now at whatever level you decide that you want it. However much you love it, you can still be here making income and serving people. There's 4 pillars. Number 1, you've got to have a passion to make an impact. Why is this not just about selling? If it's just about selling stuff, that comes and goes. That's kind of lacking. But what is the impact you want to make? Secondly, be a resource for your clients and for potential clients. Being a resource simply means finding ways to add value, finding ways to help them with solutions. And guess what, you guys, as new girls, you don't have to come up with this on your own. My Facebook group, steal anything and everything you ever want to steal. Take it, it's yours. Mary Kay Facebook, post, share, like it is okay. You don't have to come up with it. And Jennifer, you've done a great job. I've seen you. You're clearly going to the good resources and sharing. That's a great place to start. Start there. As you go, you can add in a touch here or a picture of you there, and it'll take on its own life. And so be a resource. Thirdly, connect with people one-on-one. I mentioned earlier, the most powerful you're ever going to have is when you reach out to people individually. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And then 4th, share your work, like your Mary Kay work, as a part of your life. People shouldn't be in utter shock that you're a Mary Kay girl. If they're on your Facebook, if they're in your circle, it doesn't have to be day 1, but they shouldn't be like a good friend or someone around you and have no idea that you do this, because then it seems like it's just about selling. It doesn't seem like something you care about. So let's dig into these 4 things here. Number 1, passion to make a specific impact on your clients. What do you want for the women you serve? What do you want for them? Put it into words. So for me, I want to empower women to thrive with their face. That's Jess. That's how I'm wired. Obviously, we're all going to have a similar twist on what we want because it's Mary Kay, it's beauty products, it's women. But what do you want for women? Do you want them to embrace their natural beauty? Do you want them to feel great in their skin? Do you want them to have godly confidence? You have your own heart and soul of why you picked Mary Kay. You could have picked Longaberger. I don't know if they still do things. You could have picked Pampered Chef. You could have picked Pure Romance. I mean, they're all out there. Why Mary Kay? What is it that is an impact you want for women? When you put it into words, yes, you can change over time. Mine has tweaked and honed over the last 6 years that I've been developing it, but I literally write it every day, you guys. I write it every day in my journal because I have bills to pay and I have a lot going on, and I don't want this to ever become about just getting an income, just selling stuff, money. I have lived where it was less heartfelt and I was much more about building my thing and being successful. And I don't ever want to go back to that ever again. It was not fulfilling. It was exhausting. Mary Kay is so much more fun when you know what you want for the people you serve. Let it drive you. Even if it means you go a little bit slower, that's okay. Let it be the burn within you of what you get to do for people. Secondly, being a resource is how you live out that passion for the impact. If you want to impact people, you then have to engage with people. And so using your Facebook group, occasionally texting, email is a great way to share a tip, share an idea, share a solution or a product. You're just going to constantly be someone where they know they can come to you with a question. It is the best thing in the world when someone says, Jess, my friend needs help with her makeup. Not, Jess, my friend wants to buy Mary Kay. Sure, I'll sell you Mary Kay, but I'm excited when they think I can help them. When they're like, Jess will help you. It's not about the purchase. It's about the help. And so how can you, over time, become the go-to girl for your customers, even for your friends who aren't customers yet? You want to be that person. So again, you can steal from me first, go in my Facebook group, learn some stuff, and then pass it on and just channel it over. Fantastic. Do it. Take your own picture. You don't have to be perfect or fancy. This is not about being an influencer. I don't like that. I'm bleh. No, thank you. I want to be a real everyday person who has a way of helping other real everyday women. You can speak to the needs that you've had. You can speak like Amy, you shared what drew you in with those sessions, sharing that I'm so excited to give you guys what I got to experience, that's real. Sharing things that will help people to reach that impact. And it's not overnight. It's not this perfect formula. It's just the day in, day out, doing it over time, little by little. It starts to infuse into who you are, and people someday look up and think you know all the things and that you're their go-to girl. And you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. So that's being a resource. It's adding value. People really don't want to be sold, but they do want solutions and they want benefits and results. So be their benefit, solution, results girl, and they'll buy. Third, connect with people one-on-one. This is the secret sauce, you guys. Take time to message, call, text women individually. Some of it Mary Kay related, some of it just to care and to be a friend. People will appreciate what you're trying to offer them more when there's a bit of a relationship behind the scenes, when they know you really care about them, when they know that you're a human, when they know it's not just checking off a box and just selling. That's when the results happen. That's when the engagement happens in your Facebook group. When all these 50 different people have had a private contact from you saying, hey, I was thinking about you today. Can I pray for you? Anything? Or, hey, I saw that you just took a vacation. That looked amazing. How was it? Or when they order, you say, thanks, I'll get that to you. By the way, how's your husband doing? I know he was sick. It's those things, those little touches of humanity that build to a raving fan base of customers who won't go anywhere because they want you. It's when they will engage with your posts and they will want to purchase or take advantage of something. So again, it's not overnight. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's this and this and this in a cycle over time, little bit, little bit, little bit. You don't have to do 40 things a day or 40 things a week. But when you kind of know, okay, these are my lanes and I'm going to touch them, which I'm going to show you guys how I do that and keep track of that. That's part of what this session's about. But this is where it's at. And then lastly, share your work, share your impact that you want to have on women, share the resources that you're sharing with people, share those contacts and connections and coffee dates and sessions and all that as a part of your life. Let it show up in your social media. Let it show up in your everyday life. This is where you become credible and authentic. It's the people who pop on Facebook and start like blasting everyone for 30 days and then disappear, that people get a bad rap on network marketing or direct selling because they're sick of that. It's so bleh. It's like, just be normal. So for you guys, be normal. And as a part of as how you would share a vacation or a fun experience with coworkers or something you do with your family, show, I got this fun prize from Mary Kay as a thank you for what I did, or, hey, I just got this new such and such. It's really making me feel good. It's making a result. So you're just inputting it like a diary. Think of Facebook as more of diary, not for your like deepest hopes and fears, but you're sharing, you're not blasting. Does that make sense? Okay. I know y'all get it. Y'all are amazing women. You're credible people. So that's the 4 pillars that if you're not sure, am I doing this right? Am I going to be successful? Am I going to fail? Just go back to those pillars and go, hey, just said 1, 2, 3, 4, and just touch those. Do a little bit with those. Over time, that will win over and above what you could ever imagine. So with that, how does that kind of play into life? What are my opportunities to do those things? So the customer service formula is what we've always called for a long, long time, 2 + 2 + 2. It's a process of when you have a new customer or you have someone who does a session, how fast, how often should I contact them? Number 1, make sure within 2 days after that first session, you're checking in on her. Now with the virtual sessions, it's shifted a little bit. Like we do a check-in immediately after. So then if she gets products, it's like, okay, 2 days after she's had them, check in. Is she using them? How are they working? So the 2 + 2 + 2 looks a little different these days, but once they've had the products for 2 days, you want to reach out and make sure they're doing well. After 2 weeks, you want to reach out again. Hey, everything's still good. Are you loving everything? I'm not going, is there any problems? Do you hate it? I'm always being positive, but hey, I want to make sure you're doing well. And ideally, we want someone to participate with a second session within those 2 weeks, just so they can really get a good taste of more products, get really connected into what you're doing and what our tribe is all about. So that's our goal. Certainly we can't force them, but that's one reason why we always say, what other sessions would you like to do? Because we build something deeper and we build a connection that's way longer lasting when we get to see people a couple times. And then after that, you want people to hear from you about every 2 months. So Mary Kay helps us with that in that they send a catalog out every quarter. So 4 times a year, they will mail a catalog out to your customers if you want them to. And at that time is when you're going, hey, the catalog's coming. We have some new fun stuff. Check it out. So they hear from you then. And then I do 2 sales a year. Every single fall, I do a thank you sale. And every spring, I do a thank you sale. And so those are the 6 contacts that my customers are going to get for sure. Sometimes there's extra special things that come up and, I'm not unwilling to text more, but I also want to really respect people's phone. Their phone is like being in their face, right? When we send a message, we're boom, right here in their face. So I always want to be very respectful about how much I'm texting, particularly if it's like a mass kind of style of, hey, the catalog's out. So 4 times a year with the catalogs and then 2 sales. I do 2 a year. I do not do discounts throughout the year. You can refer people, you can host, you can take advantage of my thank you sale. There you go. Or join, and then you get 50% off everything. So I'm not here to try to, tell people, nobody wants to buy anything, so here's a sale. You don't have to do that. So how do the catalogs work? How do you get the catalog to your customer? I'm glad you asked. Save time and money. Jennifer, I love your laughing and smiling. You're just giving me encouragement. I'm totally like digging it. Thank you. Your energy is feeding me. So save time and money. Mary Kay has an incredible thing. It is called the Preferred Customer Program. We shorten it to PCP, and you can have Mary Kay mail a full color, beautiful catalog with a free sample and your contact information to all of your customers, friends, family, doctor's office, anybody that you want to get a catalog 4 times a year. And it is cheap. It's ridiculously cheap, just 90 cents per catalog. And they will literally send it to every single one of your customers. It's just shocking to me that they can do that. Like the catalog probably costs more than that, and they will mail it and stamp it and put a sample inside. So that's one other thing you can always mention when the books go out is, hey guys, when you get your book, find your sample. It's in there. And it's just a fun way to get people excited about the catalog and watching for it. When you do PCP, you're going to log into the computer and you just quickly choose anyone in your customer list and you just click through the names that you want. You check out, you will pay in the moment. And once you pay, you know that your people are signed up. And you can add or subtract people anytime. Well, you can't subtract. Once you pay for it, they're in, but you can add more people in. And the enrollment period comes up every year. It comes up a month before the catalog will ship. So we are at the end of the enrollment period for the winter catalog. The winter catalog mails November 17th. So you have to sign your people up by October 17th. A week from now is when it closes. Next Monday, you got to have all your people signed up for the catalogs, and you'll do that, sign them up. And then in November, the books go out. And I always send out texts and Facebook posts saying, hey guys, the books are out. Talk to your people. We definitely remind you. But it is powerful when you do this consistently, quarter after quarter after quarter. Your customers are trained. They watch for it and they will order because they're waiting to see what's new. So it's not the first quarter. It may not be the second quarter, but when you are faithful to just be consistent, yeah, you're investing, 90 cents. But if that woman in 1 year orders 1 eyeshadow, you just made back every bit of money you spent on 4 catalogs. And my guess is she's going to order more than an eyeshadow. So it is an investment, absolutely, but it's a small investment for the potential return. Catalogs are powerful. I know we're all virtual now and everybody does stuff virtual, but people still flip through a catalog and they still like to see it. So I highly recommend it. When you do PCP, you also get to order the new products early. So you'll get access to the products 6 days before everyone else. So on the 10th, when we're getting close on November 10th, if you do PCP, you get to order that day so you can have the stuff ahead of time. And then everybody else orders on November 16th. So it's really nice, especially if there's stuff that's hot and in demand, you can get it quick. And then typically they find you will have 30% more sales when you use PCP than those who don't. That's a lot, guys. Out of $1,000, that's $300 more. If you sell $10,000, that's $3,000 just from using PCP. So it's highly, highly worth it to do. And so right now, like I mentioned, PCP is open. So if you go into Mary Kay in Touch and you go to the business tools menu, go down just a little bit and you will see preferred customer program. You can click on it and it will guide you right through. So that is a huge way to give your business life. and customers for life, and really lay a really powerful foundation. So now I want to talk a little bit about time. We're going to get into a little more of like just some nuts and bolts, because time is one of the most critical pieces of Mary Kay business. And it can make or break people if they are able to find the time and invest those little bits of time. You can move forward and you can do so much more than you ever could imagine. And so I want to encourage you, first of all, to embrace the nooks and crannies. You do not need 5 hours every Saturday or anything like that. Now, at my level where I'm a sales director and I'm really running an organization, yes, I do. I work 3 full days a week when my kids are at school. And I love that. It's my calling and it's a joy. So you can get there. But right now, to be successful, you do not need that much time. Nooks and crannies, small increments. You can send 5 texts in 10 minutes. And you've now got 5 bookings. Like, you can really do a lot. You can do 3 posts in 20 minutes and have 3 posts for the week. So just don't let yourself think, I need hours and hours and hours. You don't. If you have a plan of the things you want to do, you can just boom, check it off. Boom, check it off. You can ebb and flow. You have the flexibility to make it work for you. So you can schedule posts way late at night and they post at a normal day, the next day. You can, write down who you want to text and get the draft ready to text to someone, or schedule an email. Like, there's so many ways now you can make it work in your schedule. Or honestly, y'all, Facebook Messenger, you can message someone anytime. There is not a boundary of time on Facebook Messenger, because if they're asleep, they're asleep. I don't worry about that. Texting, I definitely try to be respectful. The third thing in time management is structure. So while you can do nooks and crannies and flexibility is queen, structure will really help your brain. So as you take these first few weeks and you're kind of like getting established and figuring out what it means to do Mary Kay, I want to encourage you to look at what is the flow that works for you. Maybe there's a day of the week that is not a good day. So don't try to do stuff that day. Let be a day that I am not stressing or feeling bad. I'm just no. Or maybe you find, I really love the Tuesday night trainings. I want to make that a commitment. So I'm going to block out, 6 to 7:30 or 7 to 7:30 to be on there. And I'm going to teach my family that that's my time. And then I'm going to do my Mary Kay for 30 minutes after. And you just create that norm. So having some structure is good. When we have the nooks and crannies, I say that to be aware that you can do it in small bits. And sometimes that's what you have to do. That's survival, and that's okay. But if you can get to where you have a flow, your brain can feel a little better. Like, okay, it's Saturday. I don't do anything on Saturday. Free, no pressure. Then maybe Sunday evening, you like to kind of get going and you want to do some work. And so, it's Sunday night at 7, time to go in my office, and you can get excited and be in the zone. So having some structure to it is definitely valuable, which requires a little bit of planning. Time management is definitely an art, and there is a science to it, but it's going to be unique to each of you and the way that your brain works. But having a plan of the things you want to get done and what days are doable. What are the moments in your day that's doable? Maybe lunch hour twice a week is a great spot that you could literally set aside and turn off everything else, go in the car or whatever, and like do the thing. Maybe, there's a certain evening. You're going to find what works, but I just want to encourage you, especially if you want more than hobby level. If you want to really see your business create some income and some consistent income, find the structure that's going to work for you, and just work it and work it and work it and tweak and work it and work it and tweak. And you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. One of the quotes that I live by is, we overestimate how much work it's going to take today, and we underestimate how much we can do over time. So a little bit of faithfulness each day will do way more than killing yourself every once in a while. It is so true. So I would rather see you guys do a little bit of faithfulness most days over weeks than try to slam out a million things, once a month. and it's a lot more fun, and it's just better. So there's some time tips for you guys. This sheet here is a weekly plan sheet that we use for planning out your week. If you're not sure where those moments are, you can use this sheet. I use it, but my planner now has a week at a glance view, hour by hour. So I just do it in my planner. So I don't print these sheets anymore. You can print them. And like, if this is where you're like just starting with it, absolutely print them out. And the point is that you can block out what matters. Our lives are so full. There are so many demands, so much noise. If we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants, the likelihood of actually accomplishing something important, slim, very slim. But when we make a decision ahead of time on paper of what we want to do, even if life goes nuts and even if things change, we will get more done because we had a plan, because we did write some stuff down. And so the first thing I always tell people is block out your faith. Where does your faith require and want you to be involved? Is there a daily quiet time? Is there a weekly church involvement or Bible study or whatever it is that you do to grow you? Maybe reading just a little bit of good stuff for your head and heart. Plan that in. What about your family? Where are the family commitments that you really treasure? Is there a certain night that you do a family, game night? Maybe dinner is really priority, or maybe, I don't know, pick up, drop off kids. Block that stuff out. So that way you have no guilt. You can do it with a clean and full and totally present self. And then work, if you've got another job, what do they want from you? Put it in there. And then you can see what's left. And you can see, oh, you know what? I do have a gap on this day. Wonder. Well, maybe I can make that my Mary Kay night. Maybe you see, you know what? I sit in the car for an hour at soccer practice twice a week. That I will tell you, Amy Adams, one of our top girls in our unit, is a homeschooling mom of 4. She works in her car during soccer and dance. And that is prime hours that she gets stuff done. And it works for her, so you get to decide. But I would recommend take a look, pick something. If you hate it, you can change it. And if you have other people around, you can get their input. Like with my husband, he knows like, this is my career, this is my calling. So I'm going to be working. We do some night sessions. And so he knows Tuesday, Thursday are nights that I'm somewhat around and somewhat busy. And here's the time frame. But I'm all in on Monday and Wednesday. You got me. I'm here and I am not multitasking. Of course, there's flex to it. We have ebb and flow with stuff, but you get what I'm saying. I can communicate to him and then I can follow through on that versus she's always disappearing in her office and on her phone and doing stuff. Like they don't like that very much, I have found. Right? Okay, so that's just some tips for how to fit Mary Kay into your life, how to find those spaces. Yes.
Hey, Jess, where did you say we could find that plan sheet?
So there's 2 things. Number 1 is Mary Kay in Touch. If you search in the search bar weekly plan sheet, they have it there and you can print it. I also loaded it in boards.
Okay.
The app, it's a PDF. It's not a picture. So you can print the actual PDF from boards as well.
Okay.
So
perfect. Thank you.
So now let's talk about what does this look like on the daily? What are the things that you want to be working on and doing? We plan our time. We have all these different things we can do. So now what? Y'all have probably seen posts or heard about the Winner's Circle. We talk about it on Tuesday nights and I post every month. What are our girls that are in the Winner's Circle? It comes from this sheet. Every single week, I start a fresh week on the sheet. So there's 4 weeks. So once you do one sheet, you've done it for a month. And I pick 3 to 5 wins that I know my business needs that week. And I pretty much do the same ones for a long time. So I'm not like starting over every week, but for maybe three or 6 months, I'll do the same ones. And it's not every day. There's maybe a 3 days a week, 5 days a week, just depending on what the thing is. And with our team, any woman who wants to participate, all she says is, hey, I want to do Winner's Circle. I'm going to print my sheet and I'm going to write on it every week. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to accomplish everything you set out to do. Don't care. I mean, I do care, but for the prize and for the recognition, all you have to do is fill it out, whatever it is that you did. So you've got your categories listed, and then you mark your tally marks for whatever you get done. If it was a bad week, that's okay. If it was the best week ever, fantastic. It is amazing what these sheets do to give you strength and momentum and growth, like mind-boggling. I started on a few years ago, and it's shifted everything for me. I don't feel constantly like, what should I be doing? How much should I be doing? How much? Now our team started in on it a little over a year ago, and the 3 women who did this sheet faithfully for the year tripled their sales. They didn't work triple as much. They just had clarity, and they stayed focused on their sheet, and they literally tripled their sales. And so, we're talking about a school counselor, Amy, who's the homeschooling mom with crazy sports and a senior in high school and all that stuff. So I get super passionate about this sheet, because if you want to make money, do this sheet. End of the day, I literally can hand this to you and say, all right, you're going to learn stuff. It's not going to be perfect. It's not get rich quick, but who wants that? What comes fast can leave fast. What comes slow and steady is what stays and lasts. So the daily win sheet is also loaded in boards. It's also in our Inspire group. So if you search in the Facebook group and say, daily win, you will find the sheet, but boards is easiest. And in boards, I have different levels. So the daily wins, you get to pick, and you get credit if you do any daily wins. So it's not that you have to do mine, but I do have in boards a few examples of, okay, if someone wants to earn a free car, what would those daily wins look like? If someone wants to be a star consultant and earn about $500 income a month, what would that look like? So I gave some levels to give you just direction, but the most important thing is the categories. So I'm going to tell you guys the categories. You can jot this down. And some women actually like to fill this out on the computer. Like they have an iPad and they do it like technology. That's fine. I don't care. I print mine because I'm just a paper girl. I got my notebook and I like to mark it and make notes, but I do not care. Like whatever works for you, have fun. They use emojis and cute stuff. Great. But what I recommend is that in your daily wins, the first thing that is really wise to include, even if you're doing just one a week, lead generation. Lead generation is connecting with people. It doesn't have to be Mary Kay related to count, but relationships are the start and the end of our business. If we don't have people in our lives, we don't have a business. So being intentional about connecting with people, reestablishing friendships, saying hi to people out and about who you maybe would normally just put your head down and keep walking. But being intentional, the best thing that ever happened for me with Mary Kay, I shouldn't say the best because there's so many things in different angles, but one of the things Mary Kay taught me was to lift up my head and look around and be a friend and notice people and just care. It is amazing what that will do when we notice people. And so lead generating is saying every week, stop and notice people, build a friendship, write a note, send a message, make a call, think about somebody. And it can be people that are acquaintances that are not leading. In general, lead generation means you're doing that with somebody who's not a customer. So that's the only qualifier is in order for them to be a lead, they're not yet a customer, but it doesn't mean you have to talk to them about Mary Kay. Probably not for a while. So I've got women who've been on my lead sheets, on my lead line multiple weeks because I'm not there yet. I'm just getting to know her. But by being intentional and caring and building the friendship and the trust, that is lead generating because she might see a post and message me, or I may invite her to be on a session once I feel like we're ready for that. So anyhow, lead generating is the first category. And again, you can do one a week, you can do one a day. Eventually the quantity matters, but early on, it really doesn't. If you do something, you're going to move forward. And the woman who tripled her sales, who was a school counselor, she did 2 things, 3 days, 2 total things, 3 days a week for a year. So The second thing is booking, some sort of booking attempt. It doesn't have to be a yes or a no answer, because this is stuff you can control. You're only picking things you can control, but maybe you're like, you know what? I could reach out to 2 people a week. I could do that. So that's my win. I'm going to reach out to 2 people a week. 2 people a day. You will set your pace, but you get to pick. And then third is customer development, being intentional about staying connected to your customers. So maybe it's a post on Facebook that day. Maybe it's just texting someone and asking how they're liking their product. Maybe it's remembering her birthday and saying happy birthday. So again, that doesn't always have to be Mary Kay. It just means you're looking at your customer base and going, how can I nurture these relationships? How can I add value or love on them? So that's customer development. Fourth is sharing, something related to sharing the opportunity, whether you post a video on your Facebook or you ask someone to do a PP chat or you follow up with somebody who's interested in the business, anything like that, something sharing related, because when Mary Kay is blessing your life, the best thing you can do is share the blessing and let that be known. And so there's different ways you could share. And then finally is something for your head or your heart. So the fifth one is head, heart. So maybe what right now you're challenged with is spending time with God every day. And so that's your win. And if you spend time with God 5 days a week, that's winning. You can do that. Maybe it's planning. Maybe you're like, I need to plan better. I am awful. I just fly by the seat of my pants. Okay, my win is going to be planning my days out. Every night I'm going to plan tomorrow, and that's it. So you get to decide. For head or heart, you're picking what works for you. And that one you may stick with for quite a while. You may get it down after like 90 days and be like, hey, I've got that. That's a habit. Now let me pick something else that I'm struggling with. There's ebb and flow to these wins, but yet there's a consistency. So you're not starting over every week or every month going, what should I do? But the cool thing is, if you want to participate in Winner's Circle, all you have to do, have your sheet, fill it out each week with whatever it is, whatever's reality. And you send me a picture on Sunday night or Monday. Again, it's not about rules here. I'm not being mean. I just want you to send me a picture every week of your sheet, whatever it is, whatever it looks like. Send me the picture and you're a part of Winner's Circle. When you fill out your very first sheet, the whole thing, you get your bracelet, your Inspire bracelet. So this is mine. It says Inspire on there, and you get that as a gift when you finished your first month of Winner's Circle, because this is who we are. This is it right here. We show up daily with a heart, and we don't need 4 hours a day, but we can do a little bit every day. And so, if you want to be a part of Winner's Circle, all you have to do is text me when we get done, say, hey, I want to be in, and I add you to the reminder texts. So every week you'll just get a text saying, hey, send me your sheets. And then as long as you send it within the next day or two, and we'll talk sometimes about it, like, oh, I noticed this, or hey, good job, or okay, what would it take to fill in that one better? So we'll work through it with you. But that's the small daily wins. And so Winner's Circle, silver level, just fill out the sheet, anything. Gold is if you do the star sheet, and platinum is if you do the car sheet. And again, those pictures, all, specific, are in boards, so you can see what the levels are and all. And I just need to know if you want to be a part of that, and I'll get you added. So winning daily wins, awesome. They are like what we're doing, but where do you actually keep track of what you did? How do I remember who I talked to? Who did I reach out to? Who participated? Where does that go? Because that's another really important thing is, all right, if you did 2 booking attempts, who were they? Did they say yes or no? Or do you need to follow up? So the serve sheet is what you use to keep track of that. So when I'm doing my work in my business, when I sit down tomorrow and I do my stuff, I'm going to open up. I've got a few areas here, but this is my section of my binder where my daily win sheets are loose because I, use those frequently. And then behind it is my serve sheet. And so I have, for the month of October, a record of, as I was doing booking attempts, who I contacted, and I write it on the sheet. As people scheduled, I mark down what sessions they're scheduled for. As they actually do a session, I put their name here. If I share the business and talk with them about it, I put them here. So the serve sheet is just where I put what I did from my daily wins. So if you look at the sheet on the right side, make 50 calls and book 10. That's just an example of what to expect. Out of 50 phone calls to like anyone and everyone, you would get at least 10 bookings. Yes, you can message. I don't do a lot of live phone calls anymore. I'll do voice texting, voice messaging, whatever works. But if you fill in all those circles, you'll have at least 10 bookings. And with the virtual sessions, I would dare say you'll probably have 20 or 25. They're just not a hard sell. Virtual parties are fun and they're easy. So I write their name in the bubble and I circle it when it's a yes, and I put an X if they say no. And then what happens is when I work on my daily wins next week, I open up the sheet. I'm like, okay, who did I reach out to who never responded? Oh, well, let me send her a message. So I know who to call and contact. So these sheets are just living documents that help you know what to do for your daily wins. So it works back and forth. You're recording what your people you reached out to, but then the sheet tells you who to reach out to next week or who to work with. And so these two pieces of paper are truly my personal business. That's it. That is my personal business stuff, those two sheets. So I'll list in the circles, and then if somebody books, you can put them on the line where it says 6 weekly bookings. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, you have room to jot down who's getting on one of the sessions, or are you meeting with someone one-on-one, or any of that. So it's just a place for you to keep track of your people. And then as people do sessions, whether they're in person or virtual or however it works out, if they get on your launch party, then you're going to list their names under serve by sharing the product. So they tried the product, they experienced the product. So you're going to put their names in the list. And as you'll see here, there's room for 30, which is the first goal, is to get to 30 women. And so once you've served 30 women, you get a fun prize. So I just need to know. So that's how this sheet works. And then I keep about a year of those sheets in here. So in my binder, you'll see I've got all these serve sheets from all year, because I want to remember who I need to nurture, who tried products. And so this helps me. I'll go back to September and I'll go, oh yeah, I met that lady, Christy. Let me check and see how her products are doing. So they just give you, again, guidance of what to do and who to be contacting and talking to. And they're just helpful. They're helpful is all I can say. Now, is this all going to feel easy and make all tons of sense the first time you use it? No, take some time. You kind of got to fiddle with it and use it. And goodness knows it took me a while to establish these habits. It can take 90 days to get a habit under your belt, but once it's there, it really takes away a lot of the mental and emotional, of being a business owner, because you know what to do, you know where to put it down, you do it, you move on with your life. And so I love that sheet, and it's also available in boards, so you can get everything that you need. So our last topic for the day, which we are wrapping up, coming right up to our time, what is possible? Wins and rewards. And I want to share this with you so that you can even just tuck away in your mind, what's possible? What could I accomplish here? When I heard this information, when I was in your seat, I thought, oh, that sounds great for somebody. I never, ever thought when I was sitting in this class that I would earn a free car, or that I would be a sales director, or that I would quit my job. Never. That was the furthest thing from my mind. And so if that's you, totally okay. But I want you to know so that way it's there. Hold on. Let me make sure somebody's helping. Hey, are you okay? What's wrong? Okay, sorry. So there are two main forms of income that we have with our Mary Kay business. So if you want to draw a line down the center, 2 columns, the first column you can title sharing the product. And that's the stream of income that is fast. It's you share the product with people, they buy, they reorder, and it's really seamless as you invite women onto sessions. That's where it starts. And so the very best way that you can serve people with product is when they put it on. We have a beautiful website, we have beautiful catalogs, and they're fantastic. But the reason why I invest the money to mail these packages out for our tribe and to make that a thing and to take the time to teach the sessions is because I know you're going to grow the most and your customers are going to be the most blessed and the most served and have the best solutions when they're putting it on, and people fall in love. And so we want you to feel like you can do that. So if you're not sure, okay, what's my best way? Go to getting women to put the products on. And if that means they come over and you guys hang out and play with product too, great, that's fine. It doesn't have to be formal or fancy. The income on that is always going to be 50%, which, as we talked about earlier, is actually more like 40%. If you want to be smart and not have a lot of expenses you have to spend money on, 40% is where you're going to earn that money, and you can get paid every day. And now 13 years in, it is rare that I have a day that I don't earn money because I have people calling and reordering every day. And it's wonderful. And so over time, you can get to where you're literally earning money every single day, 50% with, taking 40% for your family. And it's awesome. It's super awesome. And we've talked a whole lot about how to do that and do it well. The other side of income is sharing the opportunity. So if you want to write sharing the opportunity on the other column, this is where you earn money in the form of a commission. And it's your money for the future. If there's a day or a season where you can't necessarily go and serve your customers like as quickly, then those income checks from commission can fill those gaps as well. And commission is really your money that comes when you give away what you've received to someone else. When you're helping someone else make money for her family and build relationships with her customers, that's when you earn commission checks. And that's pretty cool. So now, one thing I'll tell you is if you share the opportunity and you add a team member, it is not on you to train them. You do not have to be responsible for them. You love on them, you encourage them, but you don't have to do all this stuff. That goes to me. And I do it as a gift for any woman who comes into our tribe, whether she's on my team or not. But just know that. So if you feel like, oh, how would I teach her? You don't have to. You get to encourage her. You get to be a running buddy. Most women end up with a running buddy in the first few weeks just because it's fun to have a friend, and you want to share the joy with someone. But Mary Kay pays you a commission when you have starting with one team member. So you only need one to start getting a pay raise. You earn 4% commission from your very first team member and you get a title. It's called senior consultant. So a senior consultant has one woman on her team. You're earning 4% commission. And what Mary Kay does is at the end of each month, they go, okay, Susie ordered this much, 4%, and then they put a deposit into your bank account on the 15th of the next month. You can get a paper check, but most people do direct deposit. It's just easier. So you'll get paid on those orders the month after they happen. And that's a beautiful thing. It's very fun. I think my first one was like $12. It was great. Once you have 3 women on your team, now you get another pay raise and you get another promotion. 3 women on your team, you become a red jacket. And red jackets are a big deal. It's a really exciting thing because those women are starting to become like middle management leaders in our organizations. When you go to events, you literally wear a red jacket. You get to go on stage. Like it's a big deal to be a red jacket. And it's just 3 women on your team. You'll start earning 6, 8, or my brain stopped, 6, 8, or 10% commission on whatever your team is selling when you have 3 on your team, 6, 8, or 10%, just based on how big your team is and how much they're doing. And when you get there, we'll make sure you have the actual full numbers. But for today, that's a big step. When you have 5 women on your team, you can actually start qualifying to earn a free car. Free car with 5 women, you can start that process. And that position is called a team leader. You're a team leader. You're still wearing that red jacket, super fun, and you can earn a free car. When you get to 8 women on your team, that is called an elite team leader. An elite team leader has 8, and at that point, you can earn 2 layers of commission. So you get commission on your team, and you can also earn commission from what your team's team is doing, which is super cool. You start multiplying your income. And I want to make sure that this is clear. No money is coming out of your team member's pocket. Mary Kay gives every consultant 50% regardless. There is no change to that. It's Mary Kay that pays you the commission out of Mary Kay's pocket, which is pretty cool. When you have 10 active women on your team, you can become a director in qualification. They call that a DIQ. DIQ, director in qualification. That's someone who says, you know what? I want to be a leader in our company. I want to take on a leadership role. I want to do like what you do, Jess, and figure out how to provide training and how to like equip a whole tribe of women. And there are women who that is wired within you, and that's what you want. And I didn't know it was when I joined, but within a year, I had that role because I caught on and I fell in love, and I wanted the freedom, and I wanted the flexibility with the unlimited income that Mary Kay offered. And so why would someone want to be a director? What's the big deal to like be a DIQ with your 10 active? Like, why? Well, first off, Mary Kay triples your pay immediately. So the commissions that you earn when you're in a red jacket, when you're a sales director, even if it's the same number, you earn triple as much because now they're asking you to provide some training. They're asking you to do the things that I do. And it's something that they train you for, and I help you to get to that point. It's not any kind of like, overnight being dumped into anything, but they do triple pay. And so it's pretty cool because where you might be earning a $500 commission check as a red jacket, now you're earning $1,500 like that. And so for a sales director job, typically the first year average income is about $40,000 that a sales director will earn. It can be way more than that, but $40,000 is a good start out average for a brand new sales director, and then on up into $200,000. Sales directors obviously are all different, but you can find a wide range of income levels as sales directors on up the path. And so I always like to share that because my heart is to meet each woman where you're at with your gifts and to empower you to thrive financially and as a woman. And so if you fall in love here and you want to grow forward, you don't have to wait. You don't have to worry about stepping on me or like getting noticed. You can just say, hey, I want to do more. Can we work together more? And we do. And I've had the privilege of equipping many, many women to become a sales director or to earn a free car. It's not necessarily easy, but it's a process more of growth and thriving and becoming a leader than it is painful and exhausting and horrible, if I can explain it that way. So anyways, I pray daily that God will bring each woman and that we will accomplish the dreams that are on your heart. And that's my calling and my burden. And so the last couple things is active status. This is one of the details that I always want to make sure you understand and is not confusing. It can feel a little bit confusing at first, but one thing I'll tell you is my mom is paid by me to watch everyone's status and to contact you if you're ever about to change into inactive status or something like that. So we really try hard to communicate and make sure you're never surprised. You only have to order once a year to be in Mary Kay. One order a year, $225 wholesale, you're good. You don't get penalized. You don't have a yearly fee, nothing else you have to do. So the bar is very low. The discount, the 50% discount is good 3 months at a time. So at whatever point you place your initial activating order, that's $225, you're now good for a year. You don't have to do anything for a full year. Your discount is good for 3 months. And so if you order here at the beginning of October, November, December, you can order anything, anytime, any amount, and you have your discount and you're good to go. That's $225 wholesale, which is the discounted price. And so if you kind of read here, how to keep your active status. Definition: retail is what the customer pays, full price. Wholesale is what we pay, discounted, it's half off. And your discount privilege works this way. You get a 50% discount any section 1 wholesale order that is $225 wholesale or more. Anytime, no matter what. You'll always be getting a discount when it's $450 retail, $225 wholesale. You'll continue to get that discount as long as you're active, which is at least 3 months. So October, November, December, at least 3 months. And so whatever month you place that $225 order, the following 2 months, you're active no matter what. Nothing to worry about. So here's an example. If you order 600 in January, and then, so you cross that amount, you're A1, A2, A3. So month 1, month 2, month 3, they call it active 1, active 2, active 3. At the end of the 3 months, if you haven't ordered $225 in February or in March, your discount goes inactive. Again, nothing happens to you. Nobody, punishes you. It's not a problem. Just, you want to be sure that when you're ready to order again, say come June, you're ready to order. You'll place your $225 order. It can be products you want, it can be products you've sold, whatever it is that you want to do. You'll place your $225 order and you'll be active, and you'll have 3 months to order anything and everything without any concern. So if you do though, let's say you place an order and then the next month you've got women on these sessions and they're joining in and they're buying product. And so you order another, you accumulate to $225 the next month. Now you started over. So now you're on active 1 because you reached $225, even though you were already active. You start over and you get 3 more months. And let's say the next month you hit $225 again. Okay, you started over. Now you got 3 more months. So they're very kind and gracious with that. It's not anything tricky, mean. It doesn't change. They want to equip you to do well and to have that discount as much as you can. And like I said, I'm always trying to pay attention. And so if you're in your A3 month, you'll get a text from me saying, hey, you're really, really close. Make sure if you need a couple items, go ahead and order them. Or, hey girl, you're $20 away from being A1. Do you want to throw in an order? And you got 3 more months. So that's definitely a process that we walk with you and try to help you with. So that typically is a question people will have. And so as you go, we will walk you through it. We'll talk you through, and we're here to help. So do not worry. The last couple things are pearl calls. I mentioned these in your welcome session. I just wanted you to see your jewelry. This is what the jewelry actually looks like. You can play. This is what the jewelry actually looks like. And it's 3, 3, 3. So the first 3 calls, earrings, second 3 calls, bracelet, third 3 calls, necklace. That's the order of how you earn your jewelry. And I try to keep track, but you can always tell me, hey, I did my 3. And that way you get your jewelry as fast as possible. These calls, again, they're simple. They take like 20 minutes, but your friends and family get more excited and more bought into what you're doing. And it's very fun, and you learn a lot. So this year, there are some fun programs they're doing. You've probably seen me talk about Golden Girls, and how the Golden Girls are, anytime you reach 600 wholesale in a month, you get to earn fun. What? Okay. You get to earn a fun jewelry or an accessory. And so Golden Rules is for this seminar year. It goes through June 30th. So any month that you hit 600, you're getting extra bonuses. And the reason why we love this number is because at this level, you're earning $500 in profit for your family. And that's huge. So it's a really big deal, and you get extra jewelry for it. Also, so that's the monthly program, where based on how much you order in a month, you can get jewelry and accessories. On a quarterly basis, you earn points that you cash in for bigger prizes. So every dollar you order, you get a point for. Once you cash in those points at the end of a quarter, you can either save them and get something really big, or you can buy a handbag or a home decorative item or a lamp or a purse, whatever you want. I just cashed mine in from a year and I got $500 in gift cards that I'm going to use for Christmas. And so the quarters are split up kind of funny. It's right now we're in the quarter September 16th through December 15th. And so everything you order, you're accumulating points. And so if you hear from me and I'm like, girl, you're halfway to your star, you're at this level, just know that's what I'm talking about, is you're getting to the point where you're going to get to earn some fun prizes. And what? No, just wait. I'm sorry. My daughter's friend showed up. I told him 4 and it's 5 till. So anyway, points, prizes. You don't need all the details, just know more prizes. So our team vision this year is to shine. I believe that as women, we're here to be light. We're bringing out the God colors in the world, and God has put us on a hilltop. So on a light stand, we can shine, and we can give permission to other women to shine and to grow and to fall down and to get back up. That is our heart and what we want and get to do and get to be in this world. And so I want to empower you not to be afraid. Don't hold back. Let those passions and gifts just rise and shine brightly. We want to have 7 golden girls each month that earn their fun jewelry, that are earning $500 of profit. So that's our goal each month, is to have 7 women. And the ways that we try to equip you is 3 quick things to make it here. Join in on Tuesday nights. Our biggest thing is our Team Inspire Huddle. It's 30 minutes on Tuesdays, and it is very personal. We're talking 5 to 10 women because of schedules. Everybody can't be on every week. And we talk about the nitty-gritty of what we're learning and how we can help. We get to know each other. We laugh, we cry. It's awesome. There's also a 1-hour huddle before that. If you want to jump in on, it's a bigger group of women. It's women who are top directors in our company who are just equipping and inspiring and empowering you. So they both do get streamed. So if you can't be on live, it's okay. You can catch it later or while you're driving, running errands. But they're really powerful trainings. You will gain so much in encouragement, in wisdom, in ideas, friendship. So that is the weekly stuff that we do every week, where you can know like clockwork, we'll be there and you can be a part of it. Second, just a reminder to focus on serving. When you serve and add value to women, it comes back. God handles the fruit. He gives the harvest, but we get to plant the seeds. We get to serve and invest. Think long-term. If you get in a hurry, you can get real frustrated because relationships take time, and building something powerful takes time. And if it was quick and easy, everyone would do it. But that slower, deliberate intentionality will win. And use lots of the products. Try stuff, play with stuff, put it on. That's where you become more authentic. That's where you become more knowledgeable, and you know like how to help your customers and what to tell them. And so those are my final tips to encourage you on this journey. Any questions? I know we covered a lot. That's why there's a packet, so you can review it. This is recorded, so you can come back and watch it or catch certain parts. And I'm here for you. So this isn't bye, see you later. This is just, okay, I hope it gives you some things to work on, some steps to take, knowing what am I going for here? Daily wins are what every single one of us from the top to the bottom are doing. It's just what that process will look like for you. And over time, establishing your heart behind it, that brings the joy and makes it a lot of fun. So any questions, anything else? Okay. I'll let you guys go then and get on with the rest of your Sunday and your final weekend day. Well, I guess tomorrow is kind of a holiday, so whatever you're up to. Grace, will you text me and let me know a good time we can chat, since your launch party's Tuesday? I want to make sure we chat maybe sometime tomorrow or something. Let me know what you have.
I'll text you.
Perfect. Okay, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great Sunday.
Thanks, Jess.
Mhm.
Okay.